Hi, this is Connie and Marcy from 1033 Main Salon and Spa in beautiful Mumford, New York. And today we're going to do a tutorial including some of the braided styles from the Hunger Games, which I went to see this weekend and I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping to get 3 of the styles in, so let's get started. I am going to start with the hairdo that Katniss wears at the reaping, and I've done a little bit of prep work. She has the wavy tendrils coming down in the front. I've sectioned those off. Connie has very straight hair. I'm using a little trick, which is to put in some small braids, and I did the same thing on the other side, and then went over them with a flat iron to heat set a wave in the hair. I also went ahead and pre-braided this side of the hair. We're going to do the same thing over here, but I just wanted to save a little time because I do want to cover a lot of ground with you today. And what we're going to start with is to section down the middle. The part on Katniss is a little bit to the right of center, so on the front it's off center, but on the back we're sectioning down the middle. Make sure everything's combed out. And now I'm just going to take some hair and do a French braid. I want to keep it down by the perimeter, so I'm only going to add hair. In from the bottom. So it will only add hair to the piece at the bottom. And we're going to bring that back. Let me start here. I'm going to under braid it so that the braid stands up on the head. This is also called a Dutch braid. But really it's a French braid. It's just that you're braiding the pieces underneath. Let me get that started. Rather than on top. And like I said, I'm just going to pick up hair to add to that section underneath. And we want to keep it down along the hairline. So each piece as it comes to the bottom, just scoop up a little hair and add it too. Now these don't need to be perfect. I've read some interview material with Miss Flowers, who did the hair for the movie. The feel that she's trying to get is Depression era America, 1930s, and so a lot of it is they're conveying that the people in the movie do their own hair, until you get into the Capitol, where of course things are a little fancier. So again, we're just going to bring this braid in on the side, and actually now I've got to that back section. We speed things along by grabbing that and adding it to the top. It's not going to make a big difference. It's just going to save you taking the braid all the way back. And then braid it down to the bottom. I got tangled up there. So you have 2 braided pigtails, and that's what we're going to work with to get that little style. It's actually very simple. Very easy, but it has a nice elegance to it at the same time. Alright. I'm going to tie that off with an elastic. Now here's where we're really going to make the style happen. Take your 2 braids and cross them at the bottom. I want to keep it kind of tight because I do want to make sure I have enough hair to work with for the rest of it. And then just secure that with a couple of pins. I'm going to actually just pin these together at the side. Alright, now I'm going to take the 2 ends here and bring them back over. this also will create a little bit of a pocket. I kind of have a little more hair on this side, I think, so I want to be able to tuck that in. You have a little pocket there, so these hairs at the end, you can kind of tuck them in underneath and just roll that under and pin it. And again, bring this one over, tuck those ends in behind that braid. Now Connie's hair is very straight, and so her ends tend to kind of stick out. You can see where some of her layers are sticking out. If that bothers you and you don't want to work with that, what you can do is go ahead with a curling iron and curl the hair, and you'll find the layers behave a lot better. And even these end pieces, if I had taken the time to curl those, they would tuck in much better. All I'm going to do with this, because this is just a little bit of layering that's tucked out, just going to take a pin, catch a piece from the braid above and a piece from the braid below it, and we're going to pin them together, and that tucks those ends right in. Now you have that hairstyle, and just smooth it out a little bit with your comb and get those little pieces. I'm going to take out, take out these braids up at the front. Let's see how we did at getting that wavy effect in here. A little bit tighter wave than what Katniss has in the movie, but it gives us very similar effect, and that will loosen up, so I'm not too worried about that. Just comb that out a little bit. You want to bring some back a little and get some, like her hair fell loose, that effect. You can do that, and I'll let the curls down over here as well. Okay, so we're back, and I'm going to show you the Katniss braid, and I'm going to show you a little trick for people who don't have nice thick full hair. Connie's hair is kind of fine, so we're going to expand the form on our braid a little bit. It is it's a Dutch braid, or also called an inverted French braid or an under braid. Let me show you what that means. When you start a French braid, you have to make a decision about where you want the braid to sit. Usually a traditional French braid is crossed from the outsides into the middle, and that creates a braid that lays more flat on the head. An inverted braid is braided underneath. So, and that's what we're going to do. So take your piece that's in your right hand, bring it under the center. Now it's the new center. The piece in your left comes underneath, and that's an under braid. So we're going to do this. This causes the braid to sit up on the head. We're going to do this braid around to the back. I'm bringing pieces in from the outside, from the underneath, and we're going to keep it down on the head, but we're going to work the braid at a diagonal across the back. So we're coming down a little bit along the hairline. Again, keep the braiding going underneath. And now, I've kind of reached a point where I've secured the braid, and I have my braiding pattern. I'm going to grab a clip here, and I'm going to just clip across that center where they all crisscross. In fact, I'm going to slip a second one in just to make sure it stays, because we're going to work with the hair a little here. To expand the form on this and make your braid fuller, make your hair look thicker, do a little teasing into these 3 strands. Remember that you're adding hair in, so this isn't all going to show, but this makes that section of hair a lot fatter. And then you can, if you're worried about it, just kind of smooth over the top. It's not going to be a big deal though. Also, remember, this is a girl who is off hunting in the woods, and she's in the arena. She's fighting for her life. Her hair is not necessarily going to look picture perfect, and that's not even what they were going for in the movie. What they were going for in the movie is a style that would contain her hair in a very controlled way, so that when she would reach back and pull an arrow out from behind her shoulder, there would not be a worry that she would be getting tangled up in her hair. And that is why Katniss is wearing the braids, because she's a little bit of a tomboy, and that's a good thing for her. But she needs to keep her hair under control while she's doing those things. So we're going to put some teasing in. And then I'm going to take my 3 sections back in my hand just like I'm getting ready to braid. And now I can take my clips out and go back to my French braiding technique. So again, I'm going to bring everything outside and under as we come in, and we're adding hair underneath. So on the bottom section is where I'm adding the hair, not at the top. Although you could, and they may very well. I think it's a little easier to keep it down along the hairline if I do it from the underneath instead of from the top. If I can try and show you. So here's where I'm adding the hair, is underneath here, and bringing it to the middle, pulling it, and then bringing the top piece down into the middle again. Now, we want to hit the right corner of the hairline, which is about here. So we're bringing diagonally across. And you can see how that braid now sits up instead of tucking underneath. And it gives you that texture through the top of the braid. Along here, I want to show you the diagonal that we're hitting. So we're right on target, coming from the left side over to the right. And I'm just going to keep braiding that. Now as we come around to the corner, we have to start working this hair in from the front. Now you can take that and add it to the top hair and braid it underneath. And bring that up around the ear. And as we come around, keep that tight. And we're going to just continue to braid down the hair shaft until all of that hair is contained. Now we've got some little ends coming out. If that bothers you, I'm going to show you a little trick. As you take the section of hair to braid it, give it a twist, and that tucks those ends in. So when you're working with layered hair, or you're getting down to the ends like this where the hair is hitting at different lengths, just give it a little twist before you bring it into the braiding. Then I would just cap it off with a elastic tie. If you want a nice finish, you can take a piece of hair from underneath and wrap it around it. And there she is. That's the Katniss braid. We just left these pieces that we preset, which are a little tighter, so maybe if you use a looser braid than I did. But there she is on the back. If you want to give it a finish, just take your comb, kind of comb through, show the hair who's boss. If you want to get more sort of broken up sections here, you can add hair in from the top. I like to keep it positioned down lower, so I want to braid from underneath with the sections. But I want to show you a little variation on this, so I'm going to take it out, but not all the way out, because we have got basically what we need for the next style. I saw a style that I thought was really cute. It was a little hard to see the details of it because her hair was dark and the movie was dark. And also just, you know, people in a movie are moving around, so you don't necessarily get a freeze frame of the back of their head. But I saw something a little different and I kind of liked it. So I'm going to take a section here through the top Now, where I started the braid, I just unbraided partway over because we're going to do very similar to that. When I take this out, I want to put a little gel in here. In fact, let me slip a clip under here just so it doesn't get mixed in. And I'm using white tea luminous gel, which gives it a nice shine. I'm just going to comb some of that through this section I've taken out. Because I want to do a technique here that is going to stand out from the rest of the braid. So I just want these pieces to have something on them so that they stay separated. And then what I'm going to do is take a couple of these pieces and I divide it into a few. I couldn't quite see exactly what was going on, so this may be a little bit interpretive, but what I think I saw were some twists. So I'm going to take this hair and I'm going to twist it actually to the right, which would be a clockwise direction, and just twist it all the way down. I'm going to clip it, but what I'm going to do, because if I just slip a clip on this, it'll untwist. I'm going to clip it over here and attach it to some hair that we're not going to be working with for a little bit. And then I'm going to do another twist in this section as well. And I'm just going to bring that around and again anchor it where I twisted that first one and clipped it. And then a piece from the top. Oops. My clip didn't hold on there. Just retwist it. Slip that in there where it'll be secure. I'm going to do one more up here that's a little bigger, because I really particularly noticed one coming from up here at the crown. And this braid she had on, I think when she met with Cinna and went into the tube to go into the arena. So, but like I said, that scene was kind of dark and her dark hair made it a little hard to tell. So this is my interpretation of what I think I saw. Alright, so I'm coming back here to the braid we started. I'm going to bring it out here. And we're going to take, I'm going to take one of these twists out. The first twist. And I'm going to actually bring that down into a section of the braid. But see, because we have that twisted, it sits on top of the rest of the hair, so it'll stand out a little bit. And you can, like I said, if you want to take pieces from the top, you can, and add them to that top strand. But don't take them all the way down to the hairline. Just take part way down and add that in if you want. And we're going to stay on the diagonal with our braid. So again, braiding it down. Taking hair from underneath. And aiming for that corner of the hairline, the right corner of the hairline as you come down. I'm going to bring in a little hair to the top section here. Keep it down to the head. And again, I'm going to take one of these twists out of my clip and braid it into the hair. take my third twist, and I can take my clip right out. I want to just make sure I keep them twisted. Now this, we're not going to take all of the hair into this particular braid just now. I'm going to stop. Actually, I'm going to stop here because I'm at that back corner. I'm going to put a couple of extra braids in it right there to anchor it. And put my clip across it because I want to keep it right there. While I come here to the front, I'm going to start another braid here. And I'm going to keep this braid. It's a smaller braid, so we're not going to tease it up. But we're going to keep it down by the hairline. And it's just more really of an accent braid. And as we come back to that area, to the right corner, we want to meet the braid we did first. So we're going to bring them together. And then I'm going to show you how to combine the two braids into one. Get this here, kind of keep it down. I know this is probably no great secret, but I'm actually not the best braider in the world. So it is a matter of practice, and a lot of it is maintaining tension. Okay, so now I'm back here at the same point where the other braid is, and here's how you combine two braids into one. Let me just bring it back a little bit more. What I'm going to do is keep these three strands completely separate from each other. This is very important. I'm going to let go of that other braid, and I'm going to lay the piece on the left over the piece on the left. The piece in the center goes over the piece in the center, and the piece to the right goes over the other piece to the right. And now you just braid, because you've just combined all your sections together, and you just do it like a regular braid. I'm going to turn her because I want to direct the braid down over her shoulder. Just complete the braiding like you regularly would. She is. You could smooth these out. You can actually, Connie does not like these little curls, so if I were doing this on Connie for another time, I would probably just use a regular curling iron and put some soft bend into the hair rather than that. But I wanted to get that look that Katniss had with the waves, so you'd know what we were doing. And there it is. She's got those twists in her hair. You can direct them a little bit still from here because I know there's a little section there. And that's the braid. And then we just smooth that out a little right there. There you go. All right. And there is the third Hunger Games Katniss braid style for today. So, thanks for watching. Now you have another way to look great and feel great and have a great day.